Every day, I bring League of Legends characters to life with their original voices. Day 22. Akali. In the lands of Ionia, where harmony, balance, and nature coexist, maintaining peace is not an easy task. Everything, from the spiritual world to the physical one, is interconnected here. But when things start to go wrong, someone must intervene to restore balance. I was entrusted with the responsibility of being the sacred protector of Kinkou. From the moment I was born, my mother Mame and my father, Takno, raised me in this holy path. Under the leadership of Grand Master Kusho, I grew up in the Kinkou Order. I understood early on that everything was about preserving balance. But one day, everything changed. As the daughter of Mayim Jomin Teithi, the Shadow's Fist, my training began early. Kennen, the heart of the storm, taught me how to use shurikens. I dedicated myself to the power of moving quickly, focusing on speed rather than strength. While my parents were off on their duties, I grew up among the other members of the order. Shen always taught me the value of silence and patience, but I always wanted to go further. I had to. One day, I would take his place. But balance in Ionia could not last long. Zed, a former loyal member of Kinkou who had broken away, returned. But his soul had been corrupted by darkness. He clashed violently with Kusho, ultimately seizing control through a bloody coup. My father, Tano, was lost in the chaos. Kinkou was turning into a shadowy order under Zed's rule. We, my mother Mayim, Shen, Kennen, and a few others, fled to the mountains. But the pain of our losses ran deep. Shen, however, did not give up. He decided to return to the core philosophies of Kinkou. Yet, our numbers had dwindled. Still, at a young age, I took on the responsibility. At 14, my official training with Kinkou began. I was determined to take my mother's place as the Shadow's Fist. With this resolve, I quickly became skilled in martial arts. I mastered the Kama and Kunai, the weapons of the assassins. I didn't have magical powers like the other members, but I was determined to prove myself worthy of my mother's title. Over time, I even began helping to train the youngest initiates in the order. But the storm inside me never stopped. Ionia was suffering. Although Kinkou and the Shadow Order had declared a truce due to the Noxian invasion, seeing my homeland in agony tore me apart. I began to question whether we were achieving our goals. Shen always told me to master yourself, but those words felt hollow. I couldn't defeat my enemies with platitudes. I wanted to fight them on my own terms. I no longer believed in patience and balance. One day, I confronted Shen. I declared that Kinkou's inadequacy was clear to me. The order was suffocating, and Ionia was dying. I had been trained as an assassin, so I would be one. I no longer needed the order. Shen did not oppose me. He allowed me to leave. He knew that this was a path I had to walk alone. Perhaps one day I would return, but if I did, I would choose when. Until then, I would be the one to restore balance to Ionia.